Welcome, it's our Tuesday Tips live lesson from Digital DJ Tips, your favourite DJ school with me, Phil Morse. We are talking today in our final Tuesday Tips live show of the year. We'll be back in the new year, of course. We're talking today about what's changed in 2025. And actually, we're going to look at software because frankly, not an awful lot changed in DJ hardware in 2025. There was this lovely unit, which we've just done a big tutorial on, which you'll find on our YouTube channel, which is free, about an hour and a half long. It's the Rain 1 Mark II. That was quite an exciting addition. There was, of course, I've got one down here, got two down here. Try not to smash the whole studio up. The CDJ3000X, of course, from AlphaTheta, which was a big launch, but not an awful lot, to be completely frank, to excite people in hardware. And that's, who cares? At the end of the day, DJ hardware is DJ hardware. Software, though, especially in this day and age, is where you can innovate so you can do more with the hardware, really. So that's where we kind of were looking, and that's where we found most of the changes. So what we're going to do today is go through the changes. We're going to go through some of the big trends. We're going to go through platform by platform. Also, I want you to share in the live comments on Facebook and YouTube, if you're watching this live, what your most exciting change in the last 12 months was in the world of DJing. You don't have to stick to software, but hey, I think a lot of you will. But let me know, and we'll go back and look at all your comments at the end of the live show. But for now, I'm going to talk through what we think some of the biggest changes were, and we'll have a look at them together. So look, one of the things that's true about DJ software, I think it's probably because it's a small world, the DJ world. It's not like photography or music production or video editing, where there's a lot more people doing it. There's relatively few people in this DJ world that we love. And so the money, if you like, for innovating in DJ software, the amount of research and development, the funds that get put into it tend to be smaller, I think, is my view, which is why basically not everyone's doing an awful lot. There's several DJ platforms. We're about to look at them all. But the truth is that they generally are either being pushed into things by outside companies, or there's only one or two of them doing an awful lot of innovation. So I think Djay Pro and VirtualDJ need a shout out here. We'll look at a bit more detail about what they've done this year, but honestly, they seem to have been leading the way a bit. Now, we've just had some minor features, some obvious tweaks, some stuff we've been waiting for a long time. So I'm hoping for more from the DJ world, quite frankly, from the software companies in 2026 than they gave us in 2025. So really, let's talk about some of those outside companies that have been pushing it. Now, when the august journal of the music world, Music Week, gets on board, you know that it's broken away from DJing and it's become something a bit bigger. And that's exactly what they did when Apple announced that its Apple Music platform was going to be available in DJ software. I remember back in March when Music Week reported this, and it was big news having Apple Music inside DJ software. Of course, it wasn't in all DJ software, but it was in enough for us to take notice. And it was also, frankly, trump carded by the big one, Spotify, which arrived a little bit later in the year in September. Spotify was actually in DJ software. Originally, it was in Algorithm's Djay Pro platform way back in, I think it was 2020, it got pulled from Djay Pro, so half a decade ago. But they're back now and they're in the major platforms, which is big news because for every person that uses Tidal or Beatport or BeatSource or any of the stuff that you can get in DJ software, 100 people use Spotify, frankly. And a lot more use Apple Music as well. So yeah, they're not for everyone, but hey, Engine DJ got in there and they got Apple Music on standalone hardware. So well done to Engine DJ for doing that. But these major platforms are limited because you don't get stems, so you don't get offline and so on. However, look, they're aiming at the big chunk of people who are just getting started casual in DJing, and to have that stuff in DJ software is a big thing. So that was one of the big trends, streaming. The other big trend that I want to talk to you about was this one. OneLibrary. Now, this isn't really a trend yet. However, OneLibrary is potentially going to be a big thing because it's a way of getting your music from your DJ software to work on, hey, I just held it up, one of those pieces of hardware that doesn't need a laptop from AlphaTheta, the Pro Gear, the CDJ3000X, the XDJ-AZ that I've got over here, and this kind of stuff. Exporting to a USB drive from Algorithm's DJ, from Traktor, and of course from Rekordbox, which you would imagine because it's their software, and being able to use it in the gear. Now, VirtualDJ you could do that anyway. They just went ahead and did it. They didn't wait for someone to call it OneLibrary and make it all official. However, look, it's conspicuous that Serato isn't on board. It's conspicuous that, you know, you've got a really big name missing there. But this, hopefully, is going to be something that becomes a bit more universal. Just makes life easier for DJs. So it was good to see that. Promising start then, but not a complete solution yet for DJs. Right, so we've talked about OneLibrary. We've talked about big names coming to streaming. I now want to actually look at the individual platforms and let's see what they added. Let's see how you did. It's the report card, guys and girls, for these platforms. So we're going to start with Algorithm's Djay Pro. So Djay Pro launched an absolutely massive update just literally a week or so ago, maybe a week ago. You see, Djay Pro is a great piece of software. I think out of all the DJ software, Djay Pro kind of gets it right. It's respected, it looks nice, it plays well on all platforms, it gets stuff first, as in, like, if Apple are going to do something, obviously they'll do it with Djay Pro because they've always been very close, but Spotify was there first. So they're corporate but innovating, if you like. They are reliable but pushing the boundaries. So Djay Pro, I think, are one to watch. They're certainly making a lot more moves than everyone else generally nowadays. But in December, they fixed one of their big weaknesses. Certainly they've moved a long way towards fixing it, which is they're not very good with hardware. There's no point having DJ software if the hardware doesn't work with it, right? So they've always been all right with the cheaper stuff, the stuff that doesn't have screens, the stuff that it's just easy to map. But when it comes to pro hardware, with a couple of exceptions, they've not been good at all. Well, they're fixing that. They announced a huge set of new gear from some of the biggest manufacturers that now all work fine with all the screens working and so on. So you can find all information about this on Digital DJ Tips. There's news pieces that we go into all the gear. But trust me when I tell you, Djay Pro is now far more compatible with the kind of gear everyone uses than it ever has been. They got Spotify, of course, as did a lot of the big platforms. They also added the ability quietly, in fact, to import from Rekordbox and Serato and Traktor. They are just, I think, doing big things. And if you think about the fact that they added fluid beat grids, which are hands down the best beat gridding anywhere in any DJ platform ever made, they added that, which changed things at the end of last year, then Djay Pro are going places. I predict big things for that platform for sure. So Djay Pro, your report card is good. Let's move on then to VirtualDJ. So how did VirtualDJ do? Well, they had an adventurous end of the year. That's when it kind of all happened for them. Again, an innovative platform, a bit more renegade. They tend to do things on their own terms, which I think sometimes will come back and bite them. So for instance, I don't think Spotify is in VirtualDJ yet. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong. But no, I don't think it is. But also, they didn't get the Apple Music integration. So VirtualDJ kind of just get on and do things, and half the time it works. Half the time, I think they maybe then have to go and negotiate with companies a bit more to get them to jump on board, as in the case of those two I just mentioned. Look, all that said, they are one of the most innovative platforms. You plug them into any hardware and it just works, which is a big plus for VirtualDJ. They added at the end of the year some really exciting stuff using AI, depending on where you stand with AI. So it automatically guesses the lyrics just by listening to tracks and puts them on your waveforms so you can see where the lyrics are and what the lyrics are. So for playing about with wordplay and stuff, that's fun, but also instant karaoke files, which is cool. They also added real easy LLM, just tell it what you want and it'll do it. So find me a 90s hip hop set and it'll do it. It'll build your 90s hip hop set right in the software using your streaming service, and you can start DJing with them. I mean, that's cool. And they're the only people that have done that. Now we hear that they will be adding this better beat gridding and so on very soon in 2026. So again, VirtualDJ, your report card. I'd say you've got a B+. Just get Spotify and Apple Music in because you're falling behind there. But apart from that, you've done pretty well. There we go. So that's DJ and VirtualDJ covered. We're going to move on and talk about the others in a second. But I want to know what you think. What do you think the biggest innovations were in your DJ platform this year? What have I forgotten? What am I missing out? I ain't perfect. My mind is not what it used to be. So please share what anything I've missed as we go through this list. But let's move on now and talk about the next platform, which is Serato. Serato and Rekordbox, which are the next two I'm going to talk about. Between them, in fact, they're not. Rekordbox is... where is Rekordbox? Rekordbox has dropped off my notes, but don't worry. I won't forget it. Serato and Rekordbox are the two biggest platforms as far as market share goes, because they between them cover about 80% or something like that. So look, these are the big names, even though maybe they haven't innovated as much. So how did Serato do this year? Well, they honestly have been playing catch up. They got Apple Music and Spotify, which is great. But apart from that, have really been adding in things which you would expect them to have had 5 years ago. So for instance, their big overhaul, Serato DJ 4.0, you got a right click menu. I mean, come on. They still have only got one streaming service at a time. And yeah, you know, honestly, Serato is solid. People love it. It does what it does very well, but innovation, there ain't much going on there at all. So let's wait and see if they can add something else. They're going to get a C- from me this year. I don't know why I've suddenly started giving, you know, divisive grades to everyone, but I have. So there you go. So Serato, yeah, it's still very popular, still solid, but nothing really new to report. They did add in, like, quite strangely, some third-party controllers. So I think, from my notes here, they added in some Traktor controllers, I think the S2, and also the DDJ Flex 2. Correct me if I'm wrong. From Pioneer DJ. So that's, yeah, you can kind of use that stuff now with their software as well, which all the software platforms are starting to try and make themselves easy to work with other people's hardware and software, aren't they? That's a bit of a trend this year. But yeah, Serato, yeah, they've improved a couple of things, but really not an awful lot to write home about. How about Rekordbox then? Well, Rekordbox broke a few things this year. We'll be kind. We won't talk about that. It is Christmas. But they kind of fixed them again. Anyway, steady but unexciting, I would say, with Rekordbox. Again, Apple Music and Spotify arrived. The CDJ 3000X was launched, and obviously the software was fixed to work with that. They added 4 stems. Everyone's got 4 stems. Bass, drums, melodies, vocals. They always had 3, but they've now added 4. But of course, their hardware that was made to work with 3 stems, everyone's going, well, how's it going to work with 4? And so, yeah, they chasing rather than leading, again, I would say, with Rekordbox. They're certainly not doing anything as exciting as Traktor, as DJ, Algorithms DJ and VirtualDJ, which I covered beforehand. So yeah, Rekordbox again, C- from me. Right, I just mentioned Traktor. Let's move on to it. Traktor is one of the few companies where I think actually the hardware was more interesting than the software. They launched this year, the MX2, which is the replacement for the Traktor Control S2, and this is after they've revamped their modular controllers. So they are kind of revamping their hardware as they go along, and the software has had a bit of a rewrite in the last couple of years to get to Traktor 4, but I think it's been quite honestly quite a quiet year on the software front. They did launch Traktor Play, which is not exciting at all. It's just literally Traktor with not half, but some of the features disabled for a smaller price, which they said is designed to get people into the ecosystem in an easier, less overwhelming way, but it's not really easier or less overwhelming, it just does less. And then you still have to upgrade it when you want the full version of the software. It comes with the DDJ Flex 4 and the DDJ Flex 2 from Pioneer DJ. I think it comes in the box as an option, Traktor Play. I think it does, for free. Otherwise, you have to pay like $49 for it. So yeah, Traktor, again, I'm going to give them a D. Sorry, Traktor guys, but even your free software, even your Traktor Play software wasn't free. Not like Serato DJ Lite is. Just not seeing the innovation coming at all from you guys, if truth be known. That said, we will hope that they can do some innovation in 2026 to put that right. But if Serato moves slowly, then Traktor moves glacially slowly. They just do. As I said at the beginning, there's not an awful lot of money in DJ software to innovate, so I think people have to be careful what they do. And what they do is good. What they do, their software is good. It's got the best sound quality, I'd say, of any DJ software, the best looping. For electronic music, Traktor probably is one of the best choices. But for innovation, no, not an awful lot to tell you. All right then, here's a weird one. Bet you'd forgotten about this. Cross DJ. So we got an email from these guys about a month ago saying, hey, we've just launched Cross DJ. I think they called it Cross DJ 5. But anyway, we've rewritten it so that it looks the same on all platforms, although bizarrely not on Windows by the look of it, only on iOS, Mac and Android. And we've modernized the software with streaming and stuff, but it's only got one streaming service, SoundCloud. And So it's got stems and stuff, but I don't know. Where's the market for this? I really did surprise and confound me, thinking, why? Clearly they think they've got a market, but Cross DJ's back. I don't really know enough to give these guys a score this year. The fact that they've rewritten the software after many years of being utterly dormant is, I guess, something that's good. But yeah, this has got a remains to be seen. Too early to grade. But Cross DJ is back. So there you go. Now, finally, last but not least, Engine DJ. Engine DJ has really been outside of our thinking here because it's not true DJ software. In other words, you can't plug in a DJ controller and DJ with Engine DJ running on your laptop. It's just used to prepare music, which you then play on the Engine DJ equipment, Newmark and Denon DJ. But having said that, and I think it was actually at the end of 2024 this happened, it is the only standalone platform where you can actually use stems. So even the high end, like the XDJ AZ from AlphaTheta, even their gear, you can't use stems on it, not without the laptop, but you can with Engine DJ. So look, there's a bit of innovation there for sure. But we're expecting, hoping, thinking that maybe in 2026, we're going to see a bit of a jump forward from that platform, because if you think about it, their flagship hardware, the Prime 4 Plus, is half a decade old now. I mean, the Prime 4 Plus was basically a revamp of the Prime 4, and it's testament to how good that unit was that they didn't really see fit to change very much, but at the same time, they didn't change very much. So who knows, maybe there's going to be a big leap forward for Engine DJ. But really, that's it. You know, we've seen some changes in the world of stems, but not an awful lot since it came. The sound quality's improved a little bit. Certain platforms have tried to catch up. So Rekordbox's stems sound a little bit better than they did at launch, but they're still dragging behind. But yeah, that's our kind of scorecard for the DJ software world. So to conclude, external companies were driving a lot of the change here. It definitely helped DJ software's image in the world, as we saw from the Music Week article, that Apple and Spotify were on board. But hey, they obviously were the ones approaching the DJ software companies, not the other way around, because it arrived at the same time on all those platforms. Stems is now expected, it's not optional, and I'm sure it will come to these standalone platforms at some point from AlphaTheta very soon, because it's already arrived with Engine DJ. OneLibrary is quite exciting. It's good to see VirtualDJ and Algorithm actually truly innovating. But however, Serato, Rekordbox, Traktor really just playing catch up or treading water. And that's our report, guys and girls. We love you all. You know, as I say, small world, not enough money to do everything that these people want to do. I'm sure they'd all like to have all the features everyone else has got in their software, but they haven't. Right now, this is the most fun part of this. I want to talk to you guys and girls about what you are seeing as the things that excite you in this whole world. Because you're the ones who count. So let's do that. Let's spend 5 minutes doing that now at the end of this, our very last show of the year. So hello to our regulars. Hello to Don and DJ Belter in the sunny UK. DJ Belter says, at last, it's sunny here. Awesome. I bet it's cold though. Hello to the Ruckus and to Extadeus on Twitch. Hello, everyone over there on Twitch. So Mixmaster G says, for me, the most promising changes are Spotify integration and OneLibrary. Mixmaster G is from the DJ conversion utility software house, and they've actually got quite a nice little piece of software which will convert Spotify playlists into playlists that you can play with your local music. So go check that out if you're a mobile DJ into that stuff. So DJ Dynamics says, I think that OneLibrary is a killer feature. Yes, a lot of you voting for this feature that lets you use Algorithms DJ, Traktor and Rekordbox, your choice of those platforms, to build a USB that will work in any Pioneer DJ standalone gear or modern AlphaTheta Pioneer DJ standalone gear, just like VirtualDJ has been able to do for a few years now. I have to keep saying that. Spotify has been a game changer for me. Thank you, DJ Belter. Again, Spotify, this is from Rob G over there on YouTube. Not all engine gear has Apple Music. No, you're right, it doesn't. I think, which one did they add it to? Was it the Prime Go and the Prime 4? I'm not sure, but yeah, you're right, not all engine DJ gear has Apple Music. Is it just me, or is Serato always a platform that resists what's currently going on? I just think the money to develop isn't there, to be honest. Hello, I just want to report that Apple Music doesn't seem to be working well on Rekordbox. but I would love to find others with problems too if you can help. That's DJ Earn, who is on YouTube. So if you're having problems with Apple Music, go chat to DJ Earn in the chat over there on YouTube. All right then. So the final Virtual DJ 2026 build is the one which has got the features I was mentioning in. Thank you to Virtual DJ Bugs for pointing that out. Virtual DJ, again, more votes coming in for Virtual DJ here. Michael says, it's the underdog that you can never take your eyes off. It was always a #1 contender, even if the population usage isn't the top spot. Yes, about 11% of our audience are Virtual DJ users. However, if you ask them what their favorite second DJ software is, I think it would be split between Djay Pro and Virtual DJ, because everyone loves the platforms that do new stuff. Right then, what else have we got? Serato has got better navigation and library options, says Harmonic Boom on Twitch. It has, but hey, so's your browser since about 2010. So look, catching up with the right-click menu and a bit of the ability to sort your playlist is hardly innovation in my mind. Should have done it years and years and years ago. Right, what else have we got? I was excited to have waveforms on my S11 and easy functionality with my AZ using Algorithms Djay Pro, says Stevie. I'm seriously considering leaving Serato. Yes, so then what else have we got? So Benedict, hi Phil, OneLibrary is the feature I'm looking forward to the most. Yeah, and apparently, thank you for this, because we will always give a little push to open source software. Mixxx has a new version out, 2.5.4, just in time for Christmas. Thank you, Easy DJ. We don't cover Mix too much, although we have done a bit this year, mainly because we tend to cover what our students use. But yes, right, there we go. I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to say to everyone who is watching us out there in public land, thank you very much for being with us this year. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been humbling to help and to have all your comments and to make these shows so much more fun than if it was just me rabbling away in a studio on my own. We'll see you in the new year. To all of our course owners, to all of our people in our ecosystem who are knowing what I'm about to say, I'll see you on Thursday for your private show. But look, everyone, thank you very much for being here this year. It's, as I say, humbling. Time for me to say one more time before we put our Christmas hats on and head out into the snow. Get good, get out there, make the moments. See you very soon. Bye-bye for 2025.